Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, October 8th, and we are looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and Triple Qs. And for once, the entire day was really readable, accommodating. The algos did basically everything we thought they would, which led to a really nice day trading today. We close at the lows. 2 days in a row now in the ES and SPY, we got above the 20-day moving average, only to close below it. Up slightly for the week. We're still down on the weekly. The daily's in a 2-day balance. We have two gaps to focus on. The small one still above us and the one below us, which is still over $2, but they ate away into it. I'll be going over all three of these indices charts as far as what transpired today. So just quickly, triple Qs end 10 wide, K afternoon rally high, and then the day's high and the low. Russell, inside day, barely, they held it. Inside day, they did price probe though to the downside, only 8 wide, afternoon rally high in K, the day's high and the low. For us, we end 11 wide, afternoon rally high in K, and the day's high and low. So we opened with overlapping to lower value. We came lower early in the day and stayed lower, which meant sellers right off the bat had some pretty good control. As far as my trades, so 8 pushed down the first time, took out yesterday's low, got into the gap, didn't get no energy, took the 437.50 calls and rode those back up for a nice trade. I didn't do anything in B. C period, I said to the room, if we take out B's low, I'll look to take a short just to get A's low and then see if we get any more of the gap. Took the break. It was only a 20 lot. Made money on 15 of them. I had only 5 left to see what would happen. Went right back up. By the time I took the 5 off, I came back to what I made and lost small on the trade. Then I didn't do anything. It became pure chop. A, B, C, D, E was pure chop. F period came down, got into the gap a little bit again, didn't get much. Took the 436 calls because they had no tempo or volume and rode those back up, so did okay on that. In H period, when H got more tempo and volume, I took a small call when it first broke, went back up, took some off, had still some when it went down, actually took a quick 100 lot, held on to them. I made only a dime on them because I wasn't liking the action. We were getting a little more tempo and volume. So I said, let's wait for a better opportunity. So I told the room, I said, look, I'm not crazy about the volume in H, and I'm not crazy about the volume in I, and I couldn't even take out H's low. I said, we still have a fairly large gap below us. We have a 7 wide POC above us. Even though value's lower, I said I think the odds of going back to POC are a lot better than taking out a lot more of this gap. But I was very prudent about it, and it paid me a lot. I didn't do anything else, right? I took that big long, but I got out of it for a dime. Did nothing in I. But when it started trading up, I told the room, if we take out I's high, we were right at the 144 simple moving average. We're back in IB. Odds of going back at least to POC were good. I said, I'm taking a size play. And I took 100 calls. Took 100 of the 437 calls. And it started going my way. I didn't hold them the whole way up. I was planning on holding them up to value high, but we stalled once we got to POC. And we were sitting there, and then I finally took off the rest of them before we got to J's high. But absolutely cold. I told the room when we were down here, and this is what you get in our room, I said, if you're short, be careful. I said, if I takes out H's low and gets more acceleration, then I'm wrong. I said, but I'm not feeling it. And I think we are going back, and if we go back, we're going to probably get value high at some point. That's exactly what happened. I didn't hold on long enough for some of my calls, but I had a great call. And then when we got to J, I said, if we do not get above D's high, I'm taking a short. Because all this is, the way the market pushed down short, all this was in J was shorts covering and momentum buying. Now everybody thinks, oh, we're going to get the opening, we're going to get the high. There's totally uneducated traders. They don't realize value is lower. They don't realize there's a wider POC below us. I mean, these are important things that, that most traders don't see. So when K opened, popped above J, I didn't even get it the first time. Went back up. Now I didn't take 100. I only took a 30 lot, but it paid me. Came back in, all the way in, back to POC, and it paid me. And then M did, what M does. It took all the people who were long in JKL in the beginning of M and flushed them out. So incredibly readable and accommodating algos, and an excellent day. Good week. As far as our destinations, for the upside, we were 11 wide at K's low of 438.63. Then K's high is the afternoon rally high. So K's low is the POC. 11 wide, K's high is the afternoon rally high, 439.31. Then yesterday's high of 439.89, and then 441.68. That's now a weekly high. And then filling the gap at 441.90. It's only a 22-point gap, but boy, it held. For the downside, we don't have anything to today's low, which is 437.19, and then filling the gap at 435.12. It's still 207 points. Then I'll give you these again, but please write them down. I'm not going over them again Monday. 434.53, price probe from the 6th. Single prints 433.02 to 432.81. First set. Second set, 432.01 to 431.52. Right here, J to C. Afternoon pullback low, 429.35 in H. 427.54 daily low, and now 426.36. Monday's low is a weekly low. Now, let's get to the charts and break this all down. So we'll start with the Russell. Surprise, surprise, nothing's changed in the bigger picture. This is what, the 7th month? 7th month inside of March's range. Pure balance. Plain and simple. Balance in the monthly. Weekly. Balance. 4-week balance right now, the last 4 weeks. You think this is a market waiting for more market-generated information? Daily. Now, daily is an inside day. We went from balance. Actually, went from down to balance. And now at the inside day, even though the gap is still my main focus, actually I probably would have went from balance to up yesterday. But now, again, you can call this either up since we still have the gap and we didn't take out either side, but we didn't take out the low. I would probably still call it either up or up to balance. But the bottom line is this, and they're hovering right above all three of their 20, 50, and 200-day moving average. Bottom line is Russell is a market waiting for more MGI. Balance monthly, weekly, and basically daily. Triple Qs. Monthly is down. Right? We had an outside month down last month, so you could either call it down or balance to down. But we did take out, if I'm not mistaken, 350.204. We did. I would call the Qs down on the monthly. We never took out July's low. That's why I'm calling us, when we get to it, balance to down. So I'm going to say down on the monthly in triple Qs. Certainly down in the weekly. One time framing down 4 weeks. And the daily is back to balance. We came out of balance to up yesterday. Back to balance. 2-day balance. The gap is your main focus. Okay. Now, let's go to us. SPY and ES. Now, the reason I'm calling the monthly balance to down is because we haven't taken out July's low yet. We take out July's low, I will absolutely call this down. But for now, I'm still calling it balance, balance to down. I'm still keeping it in some sort of balance. Now, and we also closed, for now, 436.10 was the bottom of the month with the outside month down. We're still inside of it. And I'll show you also on the daily what's important where we closed above for now. So the monthly is balanced to down. The weekly is down. Now, we've had 3 lows fairly close to each other, and each time we made a low, they got rejected, but we're still one time framing down. Until we take out a weekly high, the sellers are controlling it. It's still down. Now, here's the daily, which is important. We're back to balance. We were balanced. We went up yesterday, took out yesterday's low now, 2-day balance. So here, Remember, I had the 4-day balance. I said you could call it a 6-day balance, whatever you want to call it. But the bottom line is this. If you use the 6-day balance, 437.04 was the top of it. We closed at 437.86. Today's low is 437.19, right? No coincidence. Today's low is right above the 29th high. So it's pretty important, because if we start getting accepted back into this balance, this gap is going to fill. And if this gap fills, then we go test those 3 weekly lows I just talked about, and then target July's monthly low. If we hold this gap and take out today's high and then go back and take out Thursday's high and fill that other gap, well, if we take out Thursday's high, you now bring the weekly back into balance. So this is a pretty important 2 days here. If we come out of this balance to the downside, we're sucked back in. If you come out of it to the upside, the weekly's back in balance, and the next step is to tackle the 50-day moving average. Hope you had a great week trading. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.